About 3 days we'll play on some grass and dirt, but turn down the volume on Dick and Bird. Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! St. Paul admitting the law and life, and hitting rock bottom, drugs in the ex-wife. Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck off! Shit.
Hello and welcome to this thing we call Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play. I'm joined currently by Bradley Hawes. Michael Hawes is on the way, Esquire. Bradley, how we doing? Tell us how our alma mater did at divisionals.
Hey, they showed up. I mean, they had a rough season. I think at 6 games they won during the regular season, and then come tournament time, they just gelled. They played some fantastic basketball. It was fun. I hadn't been to the Metro in 21 years, I believe.
Good facility. Last time I was there was state wrestling. That is a great time.
Yeah, it's great. They definitely need to upgrade the facility a little bit, new chairs, padding, whatever. But
yeah,
as far as like basketball, man, it was fun. Like I took Audrey up there and absolute blast. Ran into Fergus, and they're tough. I mean, they go 3 deep, kids that are just stud, like can score at will. But proud to be a Red Devil, man, going to state.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the Wild shootout winning ways. My God, pal. The Wild got another shootout win over the Islanders Tuesday. Frederick Gaudreau, man, plays just the shootout so perfectly. He is a shootout god. He's got 6 shootout goals in 10 attempts. When that went to a shootout, I leapt out of my chair at the bar. I was so excited because I knew we would win that game.
I was nervous.
Really?
I did a Frozen 4 bet last night.
Oh yeah? How did that turn out?
Hey.
Oh, you mean for the men's or women's tournament?
No, for hockey. I just call it Frozen 4. You pick 4 teams. And I actually just took straight money lines.
Yeah,
so they could win in overtime.
Yes, that a boy. You learned. Did you win? It did?
Yes, I did.
Hell
I did.
Yeah! Woo! Everyone, we've done it. We've won a bet for you. All right. So the 4-team parlays, money line only. None of this 1.5 goddamn goals, and none of this goddamn. Yes, this is exactly how I bet the sport.
So let's see how it goes. I won. I bet $5. I won 65. Now I got.
Yes.
I got 3 teams. I put all $65 on the 3 teams now for tonight.
I'm just trying to double it up. Of course you did, because that's what Brad does. He is our gambling expert.
Toronto, Colorado, and Carolina. Hey,
yeah.
I'm going to turn my $5. $65 now is going to turn me $4.85.
That's nice. You had like three for sures and one like I don't know, but I love watching the Wild win, so I'm gonna that's a good bet. Anyways, so it came down to Frederick Gaudreau again on the 3rd round of the shootout. After Reeves gets in a fight, scores his first goal of the season, and then what he tells all the kids at his kids hockey game, wherever you are, eat that, because I've got a goal now. That's courtesy Joe Smith on Twitter. Ryan Reeves not only won a fight, but he got himself a goal, smacked it right out of the air. And we just got reinforcements on the 3rd line via trade. This team, it can beat just about anybody in the West. I don't know about the East, but we just showed we can beat the Islanders.
The shitty thing about it is just how log jammed it is from the top to 2 teams outside of.
We left from the bottom wild card spot to damn near the top of the Central Division.
We're damn near to the top of the conference,
right?
I mean, we're 2 games back of the conference. It's like maybe. I mean,
right, but we don't have the games in hand. That's the thing. The Avs will probably pass us. They've got 3 games in hand. hell, they win 2 out of those 3. They get 4 points. Yeah, they'll run ahead of us. So yeah, we're 1 point ahead of them. The Stars also have a game in hand, so it'll be tough to catch them. But we got a 2-point lead on Edmonton and Calgary, and we've all played the same number of games. So I mean,
actually,
hey, we might actually avoid the wild card.
Our lead on Calgary is more than that. Our lead on Calgary is like 4 or 5. It's isn't it like Winnipeg or something is right below?
I don't have the stats in front of me. I just did this research not that long ago, so it should be pretty up to date. But
you're wrong.
All right. Well, you know what I'm not wrong about? We won the Philip Gustafson Cam Talbot trade by a lot, because that guy's 930 save percentage is second only to the NHL's Vezina Trophy favorite from Boston, Linus Ullmark at 938. And here's a little, did you know the team best in shootouts in the NHL? I wonder who it could be.
The Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, you got it, Brad. They have 17 points via shootout wins this year, which is insane.
So, my question is did the goalkeeper just miss that one on Gaudreau's last night, or did he is he aiming for the bottom of his glove?
Oh, he is. Yeah, Gaudreau is a master at the 5-hole. Yeah, keeping the puck on the ice in the shootout goal. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got 6 shootout goals in 10 attempts. More importantly, we only needed the 1 goal yesterday because Gustafson was so good, which is incredible.
The other thing, I tell you what, Tony, that I'm starting to get even more and more amazed by Thrill the Thrill.
It's so fun
it's
to
not
watch.
even like he's on ice, man.
Like he's walking on air, walking on sunshine, more like.
The way he can just stop and then go where,
yeah. Well, I mean, he's got that kind of Connor McDavid-esque and Austin Matthews. He's up in that class, right? Like, I don't know if you watch any of Connor McDavid's goals on Instagram, but dude, holy God, that guy's amazing.
He's a freak.
He's going to be down. I want to see that kid play so bad. He's going to be in Vegas while I'm down there. I might try to get into that game.
What's the point of Kaprizov cutting the top of his tongues?
Oh, on the top of his skates?
I saw
lean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, as a skier, I can only tell you that forward lean allows you to go faster. So the farther over your skis you can get, the more pressure you can get over the top of your ski, the faster you go. So, I mean, that maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because you're still tying them up. But
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe they're just uncomfortable too. But yeah, I mean, they're meant to be tight as like just like a ski boot. It should be so tight that it's form fitting to your foot to the point like there's no gap in between. So you want as much control as possible over your ski. I mean, and that's probably just it. Is he feels like he has the most control over his skates, without the tongues.
Oh, he's got control.
Oh God. He's amazing to watch. It's really fun to have the best player on the ice most nights. Just it doesn't happen in Minnesota history very often.
Did I ever tell you the story of the last game I went to when we were there in November?
No.
And I was sitting next to some Minnesota native, and he's like, "Brizov's not even the best player on the team," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to say he's the best in the league, but he's definitely one of the best.
That guy must have been out of town because everybody in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities area knows Kaprizov, Kirill the Thrill, Kirill dollar bill is worth all the dollar bills.
Or is it when you live there now? I was just thinking maybe when you live in town, you're like more fed up with these guys than say us but I don't know. I thought that was funnier than shit when that guy told me.
That night I threw the flowers on the ice for Marc-Andre Fleury. Right before that happened, a guy wanted to fight me over standing up in the last few minutes of the third period. And I was like, are you effing serious, man? I mean, if you got a problem, you should have bought a more expensive ticket. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where's the Minnesota Knicks at?
Exactly. I couldn't believe it. He was like putting his chest in my face, and I'm just like, yeah, you're ridiculous, sir. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Anywho, I might be there for the Calgary game. I figure that'd be a pretty good one to see.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, they're a playoff caliber team. We got to have it. They got to have it. So, yeah, it'll be a playoff atmosphere, which it always kind of is in Minnesota anyways. They're crazy.
Crazy thing. When I was looking up the stats today, Do you know off the top of your head what our goal differential is?
Oh God, no, but it's not. It's like maybe plus 12, something like that, plus a dozen or
It's
so.
it's Minnesota Vikings-esque.
Oh
Plus
yeah,
10. I mean,
yeah.
it's like
No, I mean we've won 7 games in shootouts, so
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
wouldn't be great, and those goals don't count. So yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on to your specialty there, Brad. The Vikings have a lot of decisions to make by March 15th. One of which is, do they extend Kirk Cousins or do they just let him play out the last year of his contract? Here, I'll read this very long quote from Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings. This is regarding Kirk Cousins and whether or not he's going to give him an extension, I believe. So let's go full numbers. We talk about necessary and sufficient conditions in math. A necessary condition is having a starter level quarterback, a quarterback above a certain threshold. Now, that doesn't mean for sure you're going to win. That's not the only thing you need, but that is one of the things you need. Having a good level quarterback is a necessary condition. Kirk Cousins meets that threshold. We know that. We do. Okay, well, now, how do you build the rest of the team around him to make sure you can win in that way? Different quarterbacks require different things around them, but we know that for sure Kirk Cousins meets that threshold. How long does he meet that threshold? Those are things we need to answer. Is there a chance to add somebody, maybe with different skill sets? These are all questions got to answer, so there's not one right way, but I do know one thing. He is good enough. He meets that first threshold. That's a question a lot of people can't answer with a yes. So we have to make sure we treat that in the proper importance that it is. Holy God, I cut a lot out of that, and it still was incredibly long. And it was a way of just not saying yes and not saying no to, is Kirk Cousins the long-term future of the Minnesota Vikings franchise?
Well, number one, I don't. He's not going to be the long term. I mean, shoot, he's what 35.
I mean, like long term for 3 years is long term.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know. If you read between the lines, to me, it sounds like they're trying to extend him because I don't.
They have to. They absolutely have to. I mean, you know,
the easiest way to lower their cap hit.
You have to. I mean, we always want to say that, you know, we're right there, which
he's a great quarterback. We said all season last year he was a great quarterback. He's not a running quarterback.
Correct. And I mean, who's our last quarterback that Teddy Bridgewater, you know, and then a horrific.
I've never been more confident about a quarterback since probably Randall Cunningham, for Christ's sake.
No, I'm saying somebody that we actually brought up, that we drafted.
Brett Favre. Oh, that we drafted.
Oh, don't give me. Yeah, Brett Favre was.
They don't exist. Like Warren Moon was the best quarterback for this franchise. I mean, Fran Tarkenton was he drafted by the Vikings? I don't know.
I don't think
that's way before my time.
But I mean, Dante Culpepper, I'm going like stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean,
Teddy was probably the last best one where he was just a borderline. He wasn't like a top tier. I'd say,
hey man, he had a good year. He had a good year before he blew out his knee in practice.
That was a sad day, man.
So yeah, like I say, yeah, we have to. We're financially we're fucked. So we have to have Kirk Cousins be our quarterback, and it's not like we're settling. I mean, who else is going to be better? Would you rather have Derek Carr?
Well, I mean, if we trade for Lamar Jackson, it's not like we're saving any money either.
Hey, I'd go sign that guy, man.
Well, then who are we going to get rid of March 15th?
Kirk Cousins.
Adam Thielen. We both agree that Adam Thielen's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's either gone or he does the right thing. I mean, the stats I read, he didn't even have a 75-yard game.
I saw that.
Like, you would take the discount, bud. Stay in state, play with your team. You're not going to get anything.
Be the slot receiver that catches the touchdowns in the red zone. Yeah, I mean, he's still got Hall of Fame hands. Like, you get him in the Chris Carter out routes and just throw it right at his hands.
Exactly. I mean, and yeah, Jefferson's going to be the highest paid ever wide receiver. So I mean, we have to extend Kirk Cousins. And I'm not
for 3 or 4, maybe 5 years.
Yeah, I'm not sighing because it's like, oh gosh, Kirk Cousins. It's just like,
we've been stuck with worse. Like, we had Jeff George start a season for us once.
Dude, Jeff George was fun to watch, man. He was fun to
wasn't
watch.
he back then? All right, so Adam Thielen's one that's gone. Dalvin Tomlinson. I don't know about this one myself, so you're gonna have to educate me on that.
Was it last week they voided his contract
Right.
and Patrick Peterson's?
Pushed it back so they could negotiate longer.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Peterson has said he wants to come back.
That's great because he was the best defensive player we had last year.
And like with our new defensive coordinator coming in,
yeah, Brian Flores.
I think the schemes for certain guys he can make them work.
Yeah.
So I think this.
Well, and Patrick Peterson wants to get after the quarterback. He wants to get in the backfield, man. Like you got two guys on the defense, if you retain Harrison Smith as well, that want to be at the line of scrimmage. And you know, our former defensive coordinator, which I got fired. We take credit for that here. Did not send them nearly enough.
Harrison Smith, I don't see people paying him money. Like I think we can get these guys at, you know, it'll be a bargain for us. We might have to pay something, but I would like to see Harrison Smith back.
He had 5 interceptions last year. That's a lot.
Garrett Bradbury, I wouldn't mind seeing him back. I'm not a huge fan. Well, I'm not a huge fan.
Oh, no, I like Bradbury. I don't know about Sullivan, though, because you hope that Booth can take that spot, right?
100%, yes.
Andrew Booth is coming off of injury. We drafted him last year. And is it Lewis Steen also? Yeah, safety that we'll get back. And that would take a lot of who was the other safety outside aside Harrison Smith? Because he wasn't great.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Right. Yeah. But that would be a great thing to have, is just a third safety to take some of the snaps, so everybody's more, fresh every time they're on the field. And Harrison missed some time last year. That was one of the worst games we played defensively, is when he was off the field.
And like Kendricks, we got to move him. He not good in my opinion anymore.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, as the season went on, it seemed like the pass rush was less and less. Danielle Hunter was the same way. Nobody got in the backfield, but that's what happens when you only send 4 all the time. Like
Zadarius Smith had 9.5 sacks through 7 games or something like that.
Yeah.
And finished the season the last 10 games with 1 sack. I mean, like, come on, like, send more people. So yeah, I think
Cameron Bynum was the other safety.
Yes,
Harrison Smith. Yeah.
And he's okay.
He's great. He's opportunistic. Like, he's in the right place at the right time. Harrison Smith lays licks, though. That's a guy who still hits motherfuckers really hard.
But if we have a scheme where we're not just playing drop back zone, I mean,
yeah.
What I don't care what quarterback you are. If you're a quarterback in the NFL, you're pretty decent. And if a team's going to just play zone and only rush 4 people, I think even you and I might be able to complete a few passes. Like,
I don't know about that. I think we'd all shit our pants, frankly. Getting hit by a 300-pound man does not excite me in any way. I think I'd rather ride a bull. I really would. That's don't put that don't put me in that situation. Yeah, I mean, you saw the Lever Chart show. They talked about the guy recently who said, "Don't do it. Don't take the shots. Don't make them get you back on the field." And it's just like, yeah, this sport it's gladiator sport. It's
100%.
Yeah, but the Vikings have a lot of decisions to make by March 15th. I guess we're saying you can probably expect a Kirk Cousins extension before March 15th.
I would think so.
Yeah. I don't see any other way around it. And I mean, that doesn't bother me too much.
No,
wouldn't mind starting to invest in a backup, though, considering his age, even though he hasn't missed a game in like 8 years besides being sick with COVID.
I mean, that's the thing. Who do you get? I mean,
Kaepernick's out there.
Well, fair enough. I don't know. Like, the 49ers can't keep all 3 of their quarterbacks.
Oh, no. Garoppolo will be on the market. Yeah.
Which all that guy does is win. He's
a great backup quarterback. And he's going to support Kirk when he's out there. And yeah, he's a great clubhouse guy, it seems
like. The thing is he got starter money, though. So, I mean,
It doesn't matter. I think at this point in his career, with all the injuries he's had, he'll be happy on the sideline next to Kirk Cousins and waiting to get into a game and win it, because that's the type of guy he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a throw away from winning the Super Bowl. He just had to make that one deep throw. The throw that Kirk Cousins can make is the throw that he cannot make.
That is
so
correct.
we have that guy. We got that guy. So, I mean, you've got to be excited about having a guy that's, met the threshold, as the Vikings GM said.
And like when we were going over this through text message, honestly, like their defense, in my opinion, can't get any worse. I mean, up.
It can get worse. It can only be worse than, get worse than one more team. But it does. Just because you're the worst doesn't mean you can't get worse.
Fair enough. But with our offense, there's another good question. I mean, Dalvin Cook, I think we move him.
Oh, I think so too.
There's word that we're going to re-sign Madison. So there's no sense having
both. I would do. I mean, you've got such depth at wide receiver. You plan on throwing the ball a lot, especially with the new head coach. I just don't see the point in having a bunch of money invested in a running back that you're going to use less and less.
I'm a fourth rounder. I'm not like any draft pick really for him. You know what I mean? I'm not. We don't need a first rounder for Dalvin Cook or shit.
That's a lot of contract to take on, and people don't like taking on running back contracts. I mean, we just saw what happened with Dallas. It might be the last year that Ezekiel Elliott is a Cowboy, and he got outperformed by Pollard. Is that the guy? Yeah.
I wouldn't even be opposed to just releasing Dalvin Cook.
I think that's probably what you're going to have to settle for, frankly.
After the June 15th thing, I believe it's June 15th when you get a deal on it. You pay him so much. I love Dalvin Cook, but
I don't. He's had a lot.
We need money.
Yeah. Well, that we do have one of the worst cap situations in the NFL right now. So, I mean, that's why we suspect Kirk Cousins will get an extension that's pretty team friendly, and they've extended the times to negotiate with Tomlinson, and Patrick Peterson's due a raise, though. I'm sorry, the man played so well last year. He ain't going to be making less than he did last year because he was one of our cheaper contracts.
And I think in this scheme, he'll be better. He'll be a better cornerback than he was last year. He I think outperformed.
Oh, absolutely.
What he was actually worth last year.
All right. Well, Mike's still not here, but we can talk about the Twin Spring training games. Have you been watching any of the Twin Spring, Brad? I guess
Tish, man. That's why I said, dude, that God, who's the guy I texted you, man? That said we need to sign. This guy's going to be our stud.
Oh, I don't know. The Facebook. I didn't watch that video.
No, I just texted you it.
Well, we got good news. I mean, the guy we traded for, Pablo Lopez, can throw strikes, it seems like.
Soto.
Soto? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Elliot Soto?
Yeah, that you said is going to be bagging garbage or groceries.
No, he's hitting off guys who'll be bagging groceries, is what I said. I mean, everything that we want to happen has happened so far. Like our baseball boner for Brooks Lee is getting bigger.
Oh boy.
Got 1,000 OPS. You can't ask for much more.
No.
And Jorge Lopez might have some command issues, but did throw 97. Pablo Lopez threw a bunch of strikes, struck some guys out. Trevor McGill never seemed like a guy who was going to make the roster or the team anyways to me. Like I've never liked him coming out of the pen. He got one out and allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, and 6 earned runs for a 1.62 ERA. That you don't come back from that in spring. I mean, you don't get that number much lower.
No.
You really just got to make sure that shit don't happen on your first outing in spring. But maybe he'll get in a groove and they'll be like, oh, look at him miss bats. I don't know. But he sure didn't miss any bats at that outing. That was the one game I did watch. Oh, you got some did you know?
Did you know in 2014, we had one member that was eligible to be inducted to the Twins Hall of Fame? Can you name that player?
2014. one player eligible
Yep.
for the Twins Hall of Fame. That's only like
just the Twins
2 years after.
Yep.
Is it Torrey Hunter?
No, it was Chuck Knobloch.
Really? He still wasn't in the Hall of Fame in 2014?
No.
Wow.
The reason why he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Twins Hall of Fame that year, until he got arrested on domestic violence charges.
Oh, shit.
So it's still out there where they thought maybe
somehow I feel less bad that Yankees fans threw garbage at him.
Well, he did get trash after that. Did you also know this? That there is a picture of Harmon Killebrew buried beneath home plate?
What? I think this is a conspiracy theory. I think this is a photoshopped. You got to share that shit so I can put it in the blog post so people.
They said they brought it from the Metrodome.
Okay.
I'm just
Who's
saying.
They?
Well, I
vet
can't
your
give
sources, folks.
I can't give out my sources.
This is like that Tyler Culver when he came on and said, "I believe it to be true, so it is." I mean,
well, if I say shit, it is true. I speak the word of God.
Maybe of shootout gods like Frederick Gaudreau.
Let's go.
Let's keep going on here. Let's see. Elliott Solo and Edwards Julian are mashing. Apparently, Julian went yard twice on Monday, which is awesome. In Double-A last year, he posted a .563 on base percentage, which just doesn't even seem real.
No,
and a .686.
Not in this day and age.
I mean, that is an insane OPS. Holy shit.
No, I mean, like in this day and age, like your on base percentage pretty much reflects your batting average.
It's almost the same number for
like it's crazy. Like
yeah. Let's see. Tyler Mahley's stuff looked good. He's already at throwing 94 miles an hour, which is better than last year. The team has had some injuries already, though, and Mike has talked about how this team is like trying to become injury proof. And so Larnick was a late scratch with some sort of lower body injury. I guess that's good news because it's not like his hands or anything like that. And Miranda has a sore shoulder. That's hard to say.
Sore shoulder.
Yeah, he's been, you fucked it up too. That's why he's been DHing so much. And now we are to what we really want to talk about: the pitch clock. My favorite thing in Major League Baseball. Oh my gosh, I've loved the Instagram posts. This is how baseball makes its comeback with crazy rules that piss off managers. I mean, this is what the game has been missing. Is actually you haven't seen any in spring. That's the thing, is nobody cares about these games at all. Like at one point in the I think a Baltimore game the other day, the officials came off the field because it was technically ball game over, right? It was bottom half of the ninth, but the team wanted to come out and get reps anyways. So they're like, well, we're not calling balls or strikes, and our job here is done. And so
that was crazy actually. It's just grown men playing in the sandlot. Like
I love spring training for that reason. I feel like the guys are just there to have some fun.
I did see, I was going over some replays and some stuff about the pitch clock and whatnot. And I think already they had one where there was a runner on third base because he violated the pitch count.
Yeah.
He come home. Like, so what are
automatic
the actual
balk.
Is that's what it is?
It must be with the runner on base. It's an automatic ball for the batter with nobody on base. So I imagine it's another ball for the batter and a balk with a runner on base.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be,
I want managers to get so pissed off about this.
Because what they say are already in spring training, their games are being cut by like 28 minutes or something like
2 minutes and 30 or 2 hours and 35 minutes is what.
So that's
Michael
good.
Said on the Levitard show.
And then you add into that, you can't do all this funky shit while you're pitching and whatnot. Like,
oh yeah, they made some windups illegal. Well, I didn't understand that because is there a penalty for that?
I would say
violate the rule. It's an automatic ball, but
That's what I would have to
call
say.
a balk too with somebody on base.
See, I guess that's the thing we have to look more into the rules. Like, are the rules different if somebody's on base?
Well, it's funny. Like I've never really had to worry about the MLB changing rules because they've been so, resistant to that. Yeah, I mean, I love the pitch clock. I think it's great. I think it'll make managers mad. I think it'll result in more ejections, which is really the best part of that game. Ejections, and bench clearing brawls are the best thing about baseball. Right?
So are they doing this in the postseason too, or is?
Oh yeah, yeah. The pitch clock is in effect for all games because you see in the postseason, 10-minute warning. There's some great video out there of back. Must have been the year the Cubs won the World Series. There's a pitcher who doesn't manage to throw a single pitch to the batter.
Was that Benitez where they showed the Javi Baez?
Yeah, there's a guy that hits like 3 inside the park home runs. Jose Altuve hits 3 inside the park home runs before he throws his first pitch. So I mean, that was the problem with the game, really. Like, this is why we can't stay tuned for 3 hours and 30 minutes.
My thing, when you get to the postseason, though, doesn't matter. Like, postseason to me,
it does for me, because I'm still not watching that game on television. Like, there are just too many commercial breaks. There are 18 breaks in the game.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
See, but like, I'll compare it to hockey, because like hockey, I like what they do in the regular season. The 3-on-3, it's fun. It's absolutely fun.
It's the best. It's the best overtime in the history of overtime.
But then you get to the playoffs, and you go back to
5-on-5. Yeah, but that's the way it ought to be. I mean, the best team should win, not the best power play unit in the playoffs. I think.
I guess that's not a good thing to compare.
Like, imagine if the Wild won a Stanley Cup because they're great on shootouts. We wouldn't feel real great about that, would we?
Yeah.
We'd take it.
A Minnesota championship's a Minnesota championship.
That's right. Getting your name on that trophy. Oh, we still haven't gotten our name on that trophy. That day's going to be great.
See, I almost, it's like I'm torn. I want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl, but I think I'd rather be in Minnesota when the trophy comes back for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you'd want to be in the state of hockey when the greatest hockey trophy and the greatest trophy in all of trophies is in the state. Yeah, this place is going to be insane. I might have to leave my house.
It would be out of control.
Overrun with people. Yeah, that parade's going to rock.
Do you know who's played the most shows at Target Field?
The most shows? What shows?
Let's go. Let's just say like music shows.
At Target Field, huh?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't tell you. Bruce Springsteen?
No, not even close. But it's a tie between Kenny Chesney and the Zach Brown Band.
Oh, of course
just in case people out there wanted to know who has performed the most at Target Field other than the baseball players.
See, that's targeting more of the suburban audience than the downtown audience. I saw Weezer at Target Field. That was a great show.
Oh, I wish I would have went to that. Do you want to know something else that's good for the suburban people too?
Okay.
Did you know that Target Field is one of the most vegan-friendly stadiums
in the country? Yeah. It's also one of the most environmentally friendly too. Like, they recycle their water to the point where you can drink it. That's how good it is. They use it to water the field and stuff.
In 2018, PETA claimed that Target Field was one of the most vegan-friendly ballparks.
I like going to see the Twins on the road with Mike just to kind of realize how good I've got it at Target Field, because like I haven't been to a better stadium than Target Field probably since I've been to Safeco, and that was a long damn time ago.
Safeco's pretty cool.
It is. It's a nice. Well, they got that roof, and it rains out there, so yeah. But otherwise, we are absolutely just blessed to have this building out here. I don't have any problem paying the extra little half a cent or whatever it was of sales tax in order to support the most beautiful building in downtown Minneapolis that'll be here long after I'm here.
You don't even know it's there.
Yeah, it blends into the city really nicely. It's got that It's got the same look as the downtown Minneapolis library, which I really like, with the limestone. So yeah, I mean, it picked a great look, and it just, yeah, there's no reason to. It's built on the smallest. Did you know this about Target Field? It's built on the smallest
Yes,
square footage of any MLB ballpark.
eight
So
point
yeah,
five eight acres to be exact, I believe.
yeah, and that metro station makes the tax worth it entirely. That's the thing. Is like,
Speaking
you want to talk
speak
about? Go ahead.
Speaking of the metro station, did you know that it's the only ballpark built on railroad tracks?
Really?
That thing
That's
actually
surprising to me.
goes under the third baseline. Did you know?
Oh, I did not know that. No.
I'm full of facts today, man.
I don't know. I've been to that stadium. It doesn't go under the third baseline. It
Yeah,
can't.
it does.
I don't think so.
It does. Look it up, man. It does.
All right. Well, we got about 5 minutes left. Well, there's no reason to really talk about the Wolves. They've been stinky bad. They stink. But Anthony Edwards acted alongside Adam Driver in the latest 65 promo, the movie about Adam Driver going back in time with future weapons to kill dinosaurs. That sounds fantastic. I will be there. But yeah, the Wolves have been bad, and they probably will miss the playoffs. But what can you expect from the Wolves? So that being said, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Mike's not here. I can talk wrestling, baby.
Let's go.
This show is going to start in 7 minutes. And so what we're probably going to start off with is the Face of the Revolution ladder match with Samoa Joe on commentary. This is going to be one of the best shows in Dynamite history. Always. The Dynamite before a pay-per-view, Revolution coming out, is one of the best shows you'll see. The Face of the Revolution ladder match. It's got Sammy Guevara in it. You've got to watch it. Look out for Minnesota's own Top Flight in the Casino Battle Royale. They're looking for the last team for the 4-team tag match for the tag team champions of the world. And I think Top Flight deserves that spot. And they've got the members to make that happen in the Battle Royale. A pair of former AEW Women's World Champions go at it as Toni Storm faces Riho. That match I'm going to enjoy probably more so than any match on this card. But they will send Hook versus Matt Hardy tonight. That should be fun because Hook never loses. And yeah, that's what Matt Hardy kind of does. And it'll make the faction just so pissed. And that's the only reason that makes them worth watching. Really. So, I mean, Matt Hardy's career is kind of at a point where he's just there to take L's, and that's okay. You got to have those guys.
Who did he used to be a part of? The Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys, yeah. I mean, his brother just got cleared of a he got his license taken away for a decade for a DUI. Avoid jail time though.
They were my favorite back in the day, man. When I was a little kid,
they had a short return to AEW, and those were very good days. And then he got busted for driving while drunk for I don't know. I mean, it's multiple times. No
kids.
I don't know anybody.
Don't drink and drive.
Exactly.
Do not drink and drive.
This is why we have Metro Transit. Yes, just do not do
it. Speaking of that, so I felt good. So I'm staying with some families at divisionals. They got an Airbnb. Honestly, the best way to travel. It's awesome. So we're drinking beers
in Louisville, Kentucky for Gonzo Fest. Found an Airbnb cheaper than a downtown hotel that's just a few blocks further away.
We're drinking beers afterwards. I've got my can of chew on the table. One of the basketball players is sitting next to me. He's like, "Man, you chew that stuff? Is it any good?" And I looked at him. I was like, "Never, ever start this shit. It is the worst thing ever." His father looks over at me and goes, "Hey, that's the best advice I've ever heard you give." And I was like, "I'm serious. Don't do this shit. All the advices that we do, no, stay away from them." $7 fucking a can, man.
Oh my God. That used to be less than $5.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God I kicked it. Anyways, getting back to the AEW Dynamite card, the best Dynamite you'll see, perhaps this year. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy takes on the firm's Big Bill. and he is firm. Maybe the firmest opponent Orange has faced for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. And, of course, I've got Orange on today to support my boy, who will be maybe starting the show in 4 minutes. So let me tell you what happens. Revolution ladder match. I got to take probably Sammy Guevara. He's the favorite in the clubhouse. Top flight to win the Battle Royale. Tony Storm's going to beat Riho. Hook's definitely going to beat Matt Hardy. And I think Orange Cassidy retains. And that's our show. Thank you, Bradley Hawes, for joining us on this edition of Minnesota Foul Play by Play. You can catch us on YouTube and on TikTok at Minnesota Foul Play by Play. I'm your host, Anthony Variano. Thank you for joining us. Catch us on Substack, gogonzojournal.substack.com, and join our fantasy league if you want to win some prizes. We're doing a fantasy baseball league, and you can win our money. So join our fantasy league. $50 donation, gogonzojournal.substack.com. Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay in school.
And don't